Neil Cooper and Neil Simpson weren't fit enough to be considered for Aberdeen, so Dougie Bell and John McMaster will operate in midfield. But there's a sight to gladden the hearts of the home supporters. Gordon Strachan, the club's top scorer this season. He's recovered sufficiently from the injuries which curtailed his involvement in last week's cup victory at Motherwell to take his usual place on the right side of midfield. And Celtic too have been hit by injuries, with both Davy Provan and Charlie Nicholas ruled out. But Dom Sullivan is back after a 2-month layoff, and he wears number 7. And that leaves young Paul McStay at number 8 for his first ever Premier League match after making his debut against Queen of the South in the Cup last week. He turned 17 only last October, and he's broken just about every record available for underage international caps. So it's a big test for this highly rated youngster. The referee this afternoon is Mr. Bob Valentine, and that information was conveyed to him at 11 o'clock this morning when he received an SOS from the Scottish League following a phone call from the original match referee George Smith from his Edinburgh home to the effect that he was ruled out through ill health. So it's Aberdeen who kick off in this vitally important Premier League match in front of a crowd in which there are plenty of gaps. The Celtic supporters boycott has taken effect, and there are certainly plenty of vacant seats throughout this stadium. That might well be influenced, of course, by the fact that Celtic have to travel away from home in the next 2 Saturdays to Dundee and then back to Aberdeen for the Cup, and that of course takes its toll on the purse strings of the Celtic supporters. Rugby playing a long ball. McGrain. And now Burns. That's picked up by Bell for Aberdeen, running straight into Aiken. Fine tackle by Aiken. Now Peter Weir. Ball is just kept in play by Weir for Hewitt. The man who did the damage so early on last week at Fir Park. There's Peter Weir. Now the chance for McMaster. And Aberdeen have done it again. John McMaster. Barely 60 seconds on the clock, and Aberdeen are in front. So John McMaster restored to the side in place of Neil Cooper, who's injured. Gets Aberdeen off to a dream start. It was Peter Weir on the left touchline who just managed to keep the ball in play. Played it up the line towards Hewitt. Hewitt cutting in from the left, playing it in field. Weir almost made it the first attempt. It dropped to McMaster, and Pat Bonner left with no chance at all. So Burns playing it forward towards McGarvey. Miller closing in. Splendid tackle by the Aberdeen captain. Good turn from McMaster, and that's good goalkeeping by Leighton. So Frank McGarvey hitting back straight away for Celtic. Fine turn and shot. Kennedy's header, returned by McLeod. McGarvey getting away from Miller, but not getting away from Stuart Kennedy. Good play initially though by McGarvey on the left. Tommy Burns. Now McCluskey trying to turn. The turn ball from McLeod. The cut back. And McGarvey misses a golden opportunity. Well, chances just don't come better than that. It was McCluskey and McLeod who worked that beautiful 1-2 to get clear on the left. Was played right into the path of McGarvey, and how he missed that, we'll never know. McGrain intercepting. Good tackle on McGee. Now Bell. Would be supporting on the left. Bell takes it back. Play allowed to go on as Rugby plays it wide to Weir. Aiken was the man making that tackle on Rugby. The flick on from McGee initially, helped away by McLeod. Now Kennedy. There's John Hewitt. Now, was he bundled off the ball by McGrain? Appeals for a penalty kick by the Aberdeen players. but the referee waving it aside, and the goal kick to Celtic. The high ball coming across, Hewitt appeared to be underneath it. McGrain challenging fiercely, and in the eyes of the referee, challenging fairly. McStay leaving that to Sullivan. Well, I think he was looking for Reid in the overlap, but that's picked up easily by Strachan. Now Kennedy bursting forward in the overlap. Looking for McGee. And that's a splendid effort by Mark McGee. Well, he's shown lots of appetite for the game so far. Kennedy busting clear on the right. A superb swinging cross. McGee getting to the ball first. The glancing header just going over the top. That's Sullivan again. Good defending by McLeish, stopping the Celtic attack and setting up one for Aberdeen. Now McMaster. A miscue from Hewitt. Danny McGrain. That's behind Reid, but no trouble at all for the Celtic defence. Well, McLeish won it, but the ball falling straight at the feet of Burns. And almost surprising Leighton with that right foot shot. Well, that was a splendid piece of opportunism by Tommy Burns. Few options on, switching the ball to the right foot and letting fly. And Leighton scrambling at the last minute. Garvey, Burns again. Now McLeod. McGrain coming up in support. McGarvey back to McGrain. That's a great build-up from Celtic. Danny McGrain got in the goal-scoring sheet last week against Queen of the South. Almost made it again, working that 1-2 with McGarvey. The shot just too direct. Bell intercepting that pass from McGarvey. Now McMaster. Challenged by Sullivan. There's McCluskey. And that's so nearly the equaliser. What a great effort it was from McCluskey and the Celtic players looking for a corner kick. I must say, I thought that Leighton touched it. Well, you can see that again. McCluskey turning on that ball, letting fly from long range, and it certainly appeared as though Leighton got a touch. So McLeod taking the free kick quickly to Burns. Forward from McStay, looking for the return ball. The body check from McLeish. And despite his protests, that's a free kick to Celtic. So another chance for Celtic to breach the Aberdeen wall from a set piece. So McLeod again is the man with the shooting power. Burns over the ball. McCluskey is hovering just behind him. There's McCluskey. Inside of the post again. And once again, the Aberdeen defence survives. Well, how unlucky can you get? That was McCluskey playing that wide of the wall and finding the post. McAdams clearance returned by Rugby. Bonner quickly off his line. Rugby's header. McMaster to Weir, beaten by McGrain. Weir has managed to cut very little ice against Danny McGrain so far in the match. Now McCluskey towards McGarvey, and that is a penalty kick. Rugby penalised. Celtic again working one of those marvellous 1-2s coming forward. Rugby leaning hard on McGarvey to prevent him reaching that, and the referee awarding the penalty kick. So Celtic have the perfect opportunity to get back in level terms. George McCluskey against Jim Leighton. This is only Celtic's fourth penalty kick of the season. McCluskey scored 2 out of 2 so far. The only miss was by Charlie Nicholas. Here's McCluskey. 1 each. And George McCluskey leaving Jim Leighton completely helpless. No chance at all as that swept high into the top right-hand corner. And that, with 28 minutes on the clock, is an equaliser which Celtic certainly cannot be grudged. Strachan doing well to find Kennedy. McGee going wide. And Aiken watching that cross. Strachan. Aiken again, clearing it for Celtic. Away by McAdam. Touched on by McCluskey. McGarvey allowed to dwell on the ball. McCluskey. 1-2 with McGarvey. And that's great goalkeeping by Leighton. A very difficult ball for a goalkeeper to take, particularly in treacherous wet conditions. Chipping it in, it's Hewitt underneath it. Trying, I think, to find Strachan, but Reid makes the clearance. Now Kennedy to Strachan. In towards McGee. Bonner in trouble, if Weir can get to it, and it's McGrain who gets there first. No, in fact, it was Weir who touched it, and the goal kick is given. Well, that's the first time Pat Bonner has been guilty of anything resembling a mistake. Just getting underneath that high cross, and then the race between Weir and McGrain. Weir couldn't quite turn it in. Beautiful flick from McCluskey to Burns. And McLeish forced into that rash challenge, which will make him the second Aberdeen player to be booked. Well, I must confess that appears a trifle harsh. Certainly a late challenge by McLeish, slightly misjudged. And I can't recall him being in trouble before. The yellow card for Alec McLeish, and Celtic have perhaps their last chance of the first half to take the lead from this set piece. The referee checking his watch as Aiken takes the free kick shot to Burns. Now McGrain, but the half-time whistle goes. No chance to McGrain to send that ball over. There's George McCluskey, who scored the penalty kick to equalise the early goal from number 4, John McMaster. And once again, Aberdeen got off to a shock start inside the first minute with that goal from McMaster after good work by Peter Weir and John Hewitt with the pullback. McMaster leaving Bonner stranded. Celtic took some time to settle after that, but then Frank McGarvey missed the chance of a lifetime before Martin McLeod hit the post. George McCluskey did the same, and then that penalty kick after 28 minutes, allowing George McCluskey to score his 15th goal of the season, leave things all square, and bring to an end a marvellous first half. So the rain has gone off at the interval, although there's still a breeze now blowing Aberdeen's way. No changes in either lineup, and that's not really surprising after the first half struggle we witnessed. The first half struggle in which I thought that Celtic had the edge for the bulk of the time. Once the midfield settled, and particularly Tommy Burns got into gear, he carried a little more venom from that area of the field than Aberdeen. So Peter Weir taking the throw, or leaving the throw. He had a very difficult first half against Danny McGrain, who was in top-class form. Throw to Celtic. Through to McGarvey. There's McCluskey, he's offside. So George McCluskey, who was a very elusive, energetic striker in the first half, and pulled up quickly with that forward run. McLeish being forced to go square to Kennedy by the attentions of McGarvey, who's still running up front for Celtic. Played out by Mark Reed. There's McGee, now Strachan. Well, they've seen a great deal more of the ball in the early stage of the second half than they did in long spells in the first. There's Kennedy. That's a good cross, there's Hewitt! And he just couldn't get over the ball for that header. And again, the menacing cross came from Stuart Kennedy on the right touchline. That swinging cross just evading Tom McAdam, and Hewitt needed another couple of inches in height to direct the ball downwards. Now Sullivan. They won't keep that in. Protesting for a corner kick. And getting a very direct answer from the far side linesman. Mr. McDonald of Perth. Going in behind McGrain. That's a miscue by Murdo McLeod. Bonner at full stretch. And sorting things out for Celtic. Well, that's just toe pop doing enough to get the ball to Strachan. Again, Kennedy up in support. Hewitt just beaten. Kennedy back in to Strachan. Great chance for Strachan. Ball still free. And eventually thumped away by Paul McStay. What a good interception that was, but Strachan had a marvellous opportunity. The tackle by Kennedy made the chance for Strachan. Bonner coming down at his feet. The ball breaking free. And eventually thumped away by McStay. Rugby testing the heart of the Celtic defence. Aiken's clearance just wide of McGee. Now Strachan. Aberdeen building up some momentum now. Well, this is McStrachan at his best. Just failing to hit that dead ball line. And now testing the left side of that Celtic defence. So Peter Weir lining up what will surely be an in-swinger. Bonner has come for it, has come off the head of Rugby. There's McLeish. And again it's Bonner to Celtic's rescue. Well, a chance fleetingly for Alec McLeish. And Bonner's goalkeeping denying him. There's Bell. Appeared to strike an arm, but Tom McAdam gets away with it. And certainly it appeared to strike him rather than the other way around. Aberdeen's appeals fall on deaf ears, but they won a corner kick. So we are switching to the right for this corner kick. The header in from Black, and Bonner right on the spot. Well, Eric Black's already shown his prowess in the air in first team matches this season, and he came very close on that occasion. And this is McCluskey. Now Burns. McInerney just holding off McLeish. The free kick is given. Bell and Sullivan clashing. Bell impeding the Celtic midfield man. The free kick is given. Now, what does Celtic have rehearsed for the set piece? So Sullivan has the ball. Four-man wall. McLeod waiting behind. There's McLeod. Deflection! And Leighton is beaten. That's Murdo McLeod who has given Celtic the lead. 27 minutes of the second half gone, and Celtic go in front. Well, the set piece did the damage. It was laid back by Sullivan into the path of McLeod. The shot took a deflection off the wall and spun agonisingly away from Jim Leighton. Breaking through now to Strachan, getting away from McLeod and taking a very late knock from Aiken. Strachan's on the deck. Referee allowing play on as Black had possession. Strachan back in his feet. McGarvey taking on the Aberdeen defence single-handedly, and that is a very crude rugby tackle by Willie Miller. That will unquestionably result in a booking, I'm sure. So Miller back in position in the heart of that Aberdeen defence as Barnes prepares to take the free kick for Celtic. Short one, McCluskey. McStay. Oh yes! Sheer brilliance from young Paul McStay. 13 minutes left. And young Paul McStay celebrates his Premier League debut with a goal to remember. One which will surely tie it up for Celtic. And it really was a marvellous goal. It came from that Tommy Burns free kick to the edge of the box. McCluskey knocked it square. McStay came onto the ball, wriggled free of two Aberdeen defenders. And although Leighton could touch that ball, he couldn't keep it out.